Over the last couple of weeks we have been overwhelmed with entries, and most of them were just breathtaking, containing perfect team coordination and displaying creativity at its finest. 8 teams managed to proceed to the finals. Now they are going to fight for the title of the most skilled parkour team 2019. For the very first time, never before in the history of parkour contests, drones, alterations and overdrives make their combined appearance on the scene. Drones that let you blow your friends far into the sky, alterations that make you shoot far faster than ever before, overdrives that send you flying immediately into the deep realms of the sky. Reaching new heights, conquering the impossible and producing spectacular stunts. Only your imagination is the limit. In the meantime, the finalists are making the last preparations. Their largest challenge is yet to come. Peripherals, crystals, containers and supplies await their winners. 3 stages, every stage half the teams will be eliminated until the one, the greatest of all time, the true Masters of Parkour 2019 are left standing. So let's get straight into the action. Welcome to the Masters of Parkour Finals 2018, 2019. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Masters of Parkour Finals 2019. My name's James, and alongside me is Cedric and Ben.
Hello.
Hello, Ben. How are you?
I'm really excited to see what all these 6 teams have in store for us today.
Yeah, absolutely. So the 6 teams that we have today are All-Stars, No Micros, the Flying Parkourist 3, the Flying Parkourist, Fly to High, and Bagged Milk. So all these teams have had really great videos to get to the finals, so I'm excited to see what they can pull off today.
Yeah, absolutely. I am also excited to see the somewhat new format of these grand finals for MOP, the new and improved version, as we like to say.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully it'll be a very exciting finish for us.
Yeah, it's quite self-explanatory when you see it in action, but basically 80% of the score comes from the judges. 20% of the score comes from the time and attempts. Basically, the contestants can pick between 3 objectives within each map. So you get an easiest objective, a middle objective, and a highest objective. The easiest one gets you no extra points. The middle one will multiply your score by 1.25, and the hardest one will multiply your score by 1.5. So it'll be interesting to see how creative these teams can get and see if they can pull off the hardest objectives.
Yeah, for sure.
It's cool that there's this element of strategy as well. Like, do you want to play it safe? Do you want to go? Do you want to push yourself and maybe get a higher advantage over your opponents? Like, how much do you want to risk? And I love this element in Masters of Parkour. I think it's really cool that you guys came up with this idea. Just takes the contest a step beyond. And I'm curious to see as well how this live stream will compare, like how this final will compare with what the Russian final looked like, and what the feedback will be. So viewers, please do give us your feedback. Let us know what you liked, what you think could have been improved, and let's hear it, so that the next edition, hopefully in a year's time, not in 2 years, will be even better.
Yeah, absolutely. We would love to hear some feedback from the viewers. That's how we learn the best. That's how we improve.
Yeah, so I guess we will move on and watch how the final actually works.
This year, we have reworked the finals from the ground up. Let's get right into the new format. Starting with the number of teams attending the finals, 8 instead of the 10 in previous iterations. This number is a result of the new single elimination format we are introducing. Each stage, all teams perform a trick they prepared on the same map. Half of the teams, the best scoring ones, move on to the next stage. In addition to the finals, the 2 teams knocked out in the semi-finals will fight for 3rd place in the bronze finals. The great advantage of this format, almost splitting the number of tricks to watch in half, allows teams to take up 5 minutes to perform a spectacular stunt and impress the audience and judges alike. Each stage is going to be on a different map. The order the maps will be played in will be revealed during the live stream. We picked OSA matchmaking, silence matchmaking, Kunger and polygon matchmaking. All maps include 3 objectives to reach. Every objective has a difficulty rating, a factor that provides an awesome boost for those teams brave enough to try a harder objective. But the most important change, we announced the maps and objectives already a couple of days ago. Since then, the teams have had time to prepare an awesome stunt for one objective on each map, showing us their unique style, skills and creativity. To stage up the changes, the scoring system has changed as well. Only 20% of the score will be decided by time and attempts. Staying true to the spirit of Master of Parkour, 80% of the score is about the stunts shown, multiplied by the difficulty factor of the selected objective. Every stage is judged independently by our team of experts. Teams will not carry their score over to the next stages. But no stream is complete without giveaways. The longer the stream, the better the promo codes, so stick around to have the chance of winning some awesome prizes.
And welcome back, everyone. I hope that video helped clear up some of the questions you might have had about the first stage. And right now, we're gonna get into it. So we will quickly watch a video announcing what map is we have for the quarterfinals, and All Stars, I believe, is going to be the first team to participate.
Yeah, All Stars consisting of Armenia G, Jewel, Modesty, and some Russian player I cannot pronounce, unfortunately.
All right, let's check out this this video to reveal what map is going to be happening in the quarterfinals. All right, so let's see the this team's MOP finalist entry, and then we will get a chance to watch them actually perform live on OSA.
Yeah. We muted.
So, I'm very excited to see this team perform in just a few moments. Interesting things to note. Duel. Well, this team is made up of some very old friends who've been playing for over 5 years, and so hopefully that helps their chemistry a little bit, and maybe they'll really get to perform.
And interesting that they originally tried to make a parkour video, but they couldn't win. They thought their video was pretty useless back then, but here they are in the finals of Master of Parkour.
Yeah, and it looks to me they're lined up next to the medium difficulty house in this map. So it looks like they're taking Cedric's point into account about really using the extra points to their advantage. I'm interested to see what parkour trick they use to get on this house, though.
Do you think it's a wise decision for them to go for the medium difficulty as opposed to the highest?
I think it's a smart decision, because bearing in mind that they're the first team, they still don't know how daring the other teams are going to be.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of a risk reward where you can't risk too much and go for the highest, because if you don't get it, then that's really bad for your team. But you also want to set a decently high bar for the upcoming participants.
They're just testing the water, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of different possibilities to get onto this house. And we are just moments away from seeing what trick they decide to do. There's many ramps leading, there's a couple ramps leading away from the house that you could probably use.
Yeah, they have two possible jumpers as well, who you'd think would be jumpers. You've got Modesty with a wasp.
Yeah, it's quite possible that they'll use two jumpers to try to do a trick, like twice as many tricks. That might be a really smart way of doing it.
We saw that in previous years.
Yeah. In case the first one fails, I remember this. I don't remember who did this.
They just got over. Good attempt, though.
Yeah, and that's really clever, actually, having two wasps there.
Ooh, yeah, there's a second one.
Close one.
You need to be able to reset quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
Very important. Yeah, for sure. I think the key here. Duels flipped. I think the key here is going to be to make sure that hammer Viking in the front that they're using as a ramp is at the correct angle. Because as long as the jumper is running in the correct direction, then he should be able to get onto the house pretty easily.
Yeah, as well as timing the shots perfectly as well. They want to be in sync with each other pretty much.
Like no pressure or anything, right?
Oh, that's the whole point of this, Cedric. That's the fun of it.
Actually, I am guilty of having come up with the time trial thing. So.
Uh-oh.
A little bit of a stutter from Modesty.
Yeah, as I said, that the positioning of Duel as the ramp is really important. Let's see it. That looks good to me.
Ooh, that was close. Just needed a bit more air from Modesty. Do you think the turret choices impacts much for the jumper?
I think the only really important thing for the turret is that they have the ability to unflip themselves.
Yeah.
Obviously, Thunder can be useful shooting behind, as we see Modesty doing. But I think more important is the tank that they're using. So you'll notice that Modesty is using M3 Wasp, which is heavier, and it also goes a little bit faster than the other Wasp.
Still no success.
Yeah.
Both of the jumpers are still going at it, though. Do you think anything needs to be changed for them to get onto the roof?
I think a lot of it is just luck. One thing I might suggest is
This might be it. Ooh.
Oh, and he lands flipped. That's really unfortunate. Hate to see that. I would like to see the jumpers maybe take a second or two longer, as we just saw Skills do, just to kind of set himself up for the jump, and also so that Duel can set himself up in the correct manner, because he has to be set up perfect as a ramp.
Exactly. This looks promising.
And he's made it.
Whoa!
Twice in a row. Congratulations to Team All-Stars. And a lovely celebration.
Yeah.
I think that's fairly decent. I mean, considering they're starting, they're the first team up. Nerves must be really, getting at them.
Exactly. All the pressure's on them.
I mean, they're essentially setting the pace for the tournament. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I will say it was not the most creative trick that I've seen. It was a pretty regular Viking ramp with a couple hammers shooting. But once again, we've mentioned a bunch. It was pretty important for them to just get on.
Yeah,
and get
for
some
me,
points on the board.
Since they were using the medium difficulty, I think it's probably better to play it safe at the start.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just to get a feel for things.
And remember that
you have to play it. You have to play it central. I mean, when you're just starting out, you need kind of a middle of the road approach.
Yeah.
You just don't know what the next team will do.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, all they need to do is do better than two of the other teams in order to get through to the semifinal stage, as there are 6 teams competing, and 2 teams of those 6 will be eliminated in the upcoming round. Or in the current round, rather. So the final score for Team All-Stars is 59 points.
Done, guys. Let's see how that compares to the next teams.
And it looks to me like the total points possible is 125.
Yeah, that's correct.
We're kind of at the 50% mark.
Yeah, right around there. So it'll be interesting to see how that stacks up, as you said, against these other teams. Now we will take a look at the second video, the second team's video, Fight and Flight. And the members of this team are Emrakul, Mr. Worldwide, Stanzang, and I Moneymaker. Their team name, Fight and Flight, is also no micros. I'm not sure. Seems like they might be making a joke, but I'm on the outside of it.
Yeah, Fight and Flight are a pretty popular parkour club. Been going for a long time now, I believe. But this specific team, they're saying was made 4 days before the deadline. So,
wow! And somehow they managed to make this this pretty cool video.
Talk about last minute.
4 days. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here they are now.
The guys are still pretty experienced. I mean, they come from good lineage.
Yes,
absolutely. I remember long time ago when I was part of TFP, we used to parkour with some of these guys all the time, and here they are still doing it.
That's incredible.
I mean, I remember there used to be quite a feud between TFP and F&F. Eventually, I think things kind of sorted themselves out, and
yeah, it was kids being kids, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, it's the competitive streak and everything.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
now that there are more teams, I think more big teams around, it's no longer A versus B.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see that all these really talented parkours can kind of work together.
Yeah, and one thing about parkour is the fact it's all about creativity. So every group is going to be different.
For sure, for sure. And speaking of creativity, it's looking to me. I don't know if we're in the map yet, but the setup that these guys have is 2 Wasp twins, and then a Hornet Ricochet and a Wasp Hammer. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they try to pull off. I'm sure something interesting is going to come out of those Wasp twins.
It looks to me like they have quite a few options for jumpers. I guess the Wasp.
The Wasp Hammer probably.
Yeah.
Is my bet for the jumper, or perhaps the Hornet actually.
Think so?
I mean,
we'll see. All right, so they've started.
See, Mr. Worldwide and Moneymaker have both activated nitros, so possibly.
Maybe they're gonna do the interchanging.
Yeah.
Technique that we saw earlier.
Moneymaker. Okay, so they have 2 jumpers. The twins are jumpers, and then Moneymaker is there to unflip the hammer after the trick.
Yeah,
this is really cool.
That's
and
creative.
they're using a little trick that I believe Fight and Flight discovered a long time ago, a few years ago maybe, where a twin sitting on top of another tank can hit that tank's turret.
Sure, it wasn't TFP who invented it.
Well, listen, I don't remember, but I wanted to give them credit because if I took credit, then that would have been a problem.
Cedric over here trying to cause beef.
Ooh, that one was close.
Drama, yeah.
I'm really liking this tactic, though.
Yeah, this is an interesting. It's a simple trick to get onto this house.
Yeah.
But it's pretty creative. There are not a lot of ramps or any barriers or anything around here to get up, so it's pretty important that
so they've essentially just got to use themselves. No assistance from anything. Yeah.
Which I think that's the reason why this house is the hardest difficulty. It, unlike the medium difficulty house, it doesn't provide that same setup with a bunch of different. Did he get up?
A nice one.
He went over. That's unfortunate. Another thing to point out is Stanzang is using Wasp M1, probably fully upgraded, even though their team name is No Micros. And Mr. Worldwide is using M3, and he gets on flipped.
Yeah, the second time he's done that. Maybe third time lucky.
Yeah, here's the hoping.
So Stanzang's coming up just now. Let's see how he does.
We've gotten so close so many times.
Yeah, definitely. That was quite a fail.
Fractions. yeah, admittedly, but
see, this is the epitome of parkour, right? You gotta you gotta keep working and keep trying, even if you get really close. Still, he got up just as I was saying that.
Fantastic.
Look at that. Great work from FNF.
Absolutely.
didn't take them all that long either.
Yeah, that was impressive. A good performance. I will be surprised if they get if they score lower than Team All Stars.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially with that 1.5 boost, it's a little bit, even a little stronger than the.
Yeah, I mean, you'd assume that this would push them to the top. I mean, we've only seen 2 teams, but that's a pretty strong entry so far.
They played it really smart because they could reset fairly quickly, so they could get more jumps in a shorter time.
Certainly, and another interesting thing to note, they paid attention to every single detail, because you'll notice that the jumpers, the house is in blue base, and the jumpers are both on blue. So if the jumpers have to self-destruct, they're going to spawn closer to the point than if they were on red team. So they paid attention to every single detail, and it paid off for them.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
very smart.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good lesson for anyone who's willing to take up parkour. You know, there are so many things. There's so many things that you have to watch. It's not just about being creative. It's also about optimizing every element there is to your advantage, especially when you're playing competitively like this.
Absolutely, and we see the reward for their work. I believe they finished with 82 points overall.
84.
Perhaps I'm looking at the wrong document, but okay, I misread. And the next team is the Flying Parkourists, I believe.
It is indeed.
Maybe the Flying Parkourists 3.
Yeah, maybe Ben, you'll be able to tell us a little bit about the Flying Parkourists.
Oh boy, this is a callback of many years. Well, I believe the Flying Parkourists was the first official parkour club in the English community.
Probably, yeah. Probably. I mean, they TFP has been around since before my first appearance as a CM, back in the days of Semyon Kirov.
Wow, the legend.
Yeah, and Semyon was the second community manager for the international community before, right after Bruce Lunga. So that's
a right throwback.
I mean, we're talking what, 5 years ago?
Has to be 4 or 5 years ago at the least.
Yeah, so a very, very experienced parkour team then.
Absolutely, and it looks like this team currently is made up of Do or Die, Olymp, Spirit, and Emirates. This is the Flying Parkourists 3. That version of there's another, of course, the Flying Parkourists regular team, and I guess this is the third team.
Yeah, got a lot of guys.
Yeah, well, you need a lot of guys to pull off parkour like TFP does.
That's true, and it just shows you how good they are as a team as well. The fact we've got 2 different Flying Parkourist teams from the same club.
And I believe actually they had a third entry. Well, I guess it was their second entry that also won. But for some reason they were unable to make it to the grand final. So we only have 2 TFP teams competing here. And momentarily, we will get to see this team perform. It looks like they only have 3 players in the map. I'm not sure what happens to Emirates, but I'm still excited to see what trick they have in store for us.
Yeah, me too.
Looks like they've chosen, once again, the hardest house to get on, the hardest difficulty.
Seems right now they've got 2 Magnums, 2 Hornets, and a Wasp jumper by the looks of things with Thunder.
Yep, and there's 2 mines set up right for Olymp. And then it looks like the Magnums are going to hit the ramp right as he jumps.
Yeah. Oh, that's an interesting one. Wow.
And they get on first try.
Wow.
That has to be 100% of the points for time and attempts.
That's fantastic.
Which is a great boost, especially since they're
At
using...
first, when I saw the 2 Magnums lining up, I was thinking this shot would be incredibly inaccurate. But to get that first time, wow.
Yeah, I remember back in the days when Magnum was first introduced to the game. We did lots of interesting parkour, tested a lot of stuff out. I think that was our first collaboration with TFP and FNF.
Yeah.
Thanks
actually,
to Cedric,
I did ask for that. I remember I wanted to bring the teams together and do something spectacular with Magnum, and you had this really cool video. Actually, there was a lot of footage that didn't even make it into the final cut. But yeah, it was great.
Absolutely, that was a blast, and I remember getting to know the whole FNF team and realizing that they weren't as bad as everyone said they were in TFP, and especially working with Derek's and Swift Smokey back then. That was a real fun time, just knocking our heads together, figuring stuff out.
Yeah.
And it looks to me like they got 83 points.
Yeah, so that puts them top.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, Felix. Team No Micros, FNF, was 82, correct?
Isn't that 84?
I think it was 82 and we misread it at first.
Yeah.
Which means that the Flying Parkourists 3 has 83 points and puts them in the lead, which means that they are automatically, unless they get disqualified, they are automatically into the semifinals. So congratulations to them.
Yeah. And yep, so the next team will be the first Flying Parkour's team. And these guys from the same club started in 2011. Very experienced parkourists.
Absolutely. I remember Hate was recruited into TFP a long time ago, back when I was a part. So he's been at it for a while, and I can't wait to see what him, SBR, someone help me pronounce these names.
Yeah.
And
Espoir.
Zone with an X. Espoir and Zone with an X.
Yeah. Espoir.
There's the French accent that we lack. Thank you, Cedric.
Yeah, we're missing damn slow.
Exactly. Yeah, so it looks like they've also lined up. Well, first, I think we're taking a look at their entry video, which, if I remember correctly, was very well done. And yeah, I look forward to seeing what they have in store for us. And they have gotten the go signal. It looks like they are using a hammer jumper. Or no, perhaps the Thunder will get on top of Hate.
Yeah, so hard to see. I think Zone will be shooting because he's behind with the railgun.
I see. Yeah, so the Thunder's the jumper, and then Hate will follow up and shoot him and hit some mines in the air so that he gets the height that's needed.
It looks that way. Ooh.
Didn't quite work.
Yeah, it looked to me like Hate lagged out for a moment there.
Yeah, you can see what they're trying to do, though.
Yeah, it's a nice trick. The problem, I think, is that it takes a long time to reset this trick because Espoir has to... Espoir, sorry. Sorry, Cedric. Has to go set up the mines back again, and he's also on the red team. And they didn't
takes a longer time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although this trick is a little bit more creative than the previous one, so.
Okay, so we're being told that didn't count as a try.
Oh, and they almost made it on that first attempt.
Yeah. A little bit too far to the right, though.
Yeah.
They've got a very small window to aim at there.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
the thing. The further it is, the bigger the mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
the harder
multiplied.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right, Ben, about the time that Espoir takes to get to the ramp there. It's quite big.
Yeah, it looks to me like they're really missing out on a potential fourth parkourist. That would probably really help them get this trick done twice or even more than twice as fast.
Yeah. Well, let's see how they do this time round, though.
It's a good start.
Ooh. Didn't get enough air from Hate, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glitchy mines occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are too many. There are too many variables.
Yeah, I agree. There's so much that can go wrong, which is not something you want on a timed trick like this.
Especially on the first trick as well. You just want a secure jump that
exactly.
you don't have much chance of failing.
And maybe their reasoning was, let's do the hard stuff first, so that either we get to the final stage or we just drop out right away.
Yeah, maybe they want to go home, you know.
No, not the fact that they want to go home. I'm just saying that their rationale maybe was, let's try something really hard. If we succeed, it's gonna give us a good boost.
Yeah, absolutely. That confidence boost and
then let's go home.
Yeah.
You know? Because it's pointless just crawling your way up to the final and then losing at the end. Either we win this or we go home right away. Maybe that's what the rationale was.
Yeah, perhaps.
That's true. But we should always have the mentality of going to win it.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's Absolutely. The esport in us, James. And it looks like their time's almost up.
Yeah, maybe the final one will be the lucky one.
Maybe. Here we go. It's now or never.
Oh, it looks good.
Ooh!
Ooh, come on,
and they get on.
Nice.
Wow. Nice.
Fantastic. I love to see it.
I thought there was a bit too much sizzle on that one at first, but...
And interestingly, they have an interesting way to use the railgun as well. He shoots at the beginning, right as the Thunder's driving up the ramp, and makes him tilt upward, like vertically, so that the Thunder shot gives more impact force upwards and helps propel him further. And then shoots again, probably with an alteration of some sort that makes him shoot faster.
Yeah, I think so.
And shoots again in the air to get him that little extra boost that got him onto the house.
Yeah, points for creativity for sure.
Absolutely.
So 92 points. So they've been propelled to the front, to the very front.
Wow.
And see, that's what they wanted. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. And it shows you they don't have to be the fastest team as well. As long as the trick is really creative. That's what we want to see as viewers as well.
I think that was one of the main changes that we had in this year's edition, where the timing, the time limit, and the speed of the trick doesn't have that much bearing on the final result, whereas the Russian one is more geared towards doing the trick faster. Here we balanced it out a bit more towards skill to give a more entertaining show.
Yeah, absolutely. Rewarding creativity more, I think.
I'm not sure who came up with the idea. I remember discussing it with Skeletor and discussing it with Kasim. Kasim said no, like the Russian version is going to be like this. And Skeletor insisted, he said no, like we have to do it this way for the English community, for the international community. And I said, okay, fine, let's do it that way. And it seems to be paying off. I think it was
so far, so good.
a very smart move.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so the next team that we've got is Fly Too High. So
and 3 players, right?
Yeah.
No, I believe they have 4.
Oh yeah, these guys have 4 players. Unlike the previous 2 teams we saw.
Think, Dynast, Archive, and Tanki 781.
Yeah.
And I as we are watching their entry video, which once again I think was a really great entry. This is one of the few teams in this final that is not part of or not directly associated. Oh, never mind. This is a team that's directly associated with a parkour club. Fly Too High is a parkour club.
Yeah, and for pretty much half of their Tanki careers, they've been doing parkour. But they say that they've never had any parkour success. And I think even reaching the Masters of Parkour finals this year, that's already a big success for them. So well done.
Yeah, congrats to them, and I look forward to seeing what they have in store for us.
Yeah,
it looks like yet again they have chosen the most difficult of the 3 houses, but interestingly, they have a very different setup. They have 2 dictator freezes.
That's very unusual for parkour.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what they have in store.
Because usually if you've got a heavier hull like that, you're going to need something to shoot the lighter tanks up with. But they're using freeze, which is very strange.
Perhaps they'll be used as ramps of some sort?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Or they'll kind of do wheelies off of each other?
Yeah. I would love to see the freezes get up, actually.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, but what's the point? What's the point of having a turret with 0 impact force?
I think if they don't need the impact force, then it looks cool.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Wow.
That is a cool trick.
I did not see that coming.
Yeah, neither did I.
Wow. I have seen similar stuff in the past, but it's true you don't really see it that often.
Yeah, taking advantage of the high impact force of the Rico alteration.
Just the average mind would never think of doing that when you say to them, get up on this house. Who would actually think of using that particular method? It's quite outstanding.
It's pretty smart because the building is quite low.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So, one thing that I might take away from them is that there's no flying element to it. So it's I don't know, it's not as fun to watch as
not as spectacular.
Exactly, that's the word. But at the same time, it really shows the power of creativity in terms of getting on a house. So I'm interested to see what the judges decide.
Yeah.
Ow.
A 113 point score. That is incredible.
That's out of what, a possible 125?
Yeah.
That's incredible. Wow.
It's what, a 90 percentile, something like that.
Wow.
And it looks to me like as we go further along, the teams keep getting higher and higher scores. It just keeps going up. So
yeah, so I guess that All Stars will be getting quite nervous with them being first.
Yeah. I'm curious. I'm curious how All Stars' performance affected the following the subsequent teams. Like,
Yeah.
the subsequent teams have multiple tricks planned. You know, just in. Kind of to react to what the previous teams would have done.
Yeah.
Like, okay, if the previous team does really well, maybe we should do this. If not, we do the other thing.
Yeah, I think maybe the later teams that are playing, that are jumping, want to kind of do as well as they possibly can because they know there's previous teams that have maybe done really well. Whereas if you're one of the first teams, then there's not as much. Well, there is pressure on you, but you're the first ones jumping, so you don't know how the others are going to perform.
Hey.
And up next, our final contestant in the quarterfinals is the GTT team, Bagged Milk. An interesting choice of name. And
It means something in German.
in Canada.
How do you sell milk in bags? How do you even do that? How do you even pour it out? I mean, I've got enough trouble. Trebek.
It's just like a plastic sort of Ziploc type bag that you poke a little hole in.
And it blows up in your face.
Imagine dropping it.
Oh boy. Oh, they're very durable, James. You can drop it from really high up and it'll do nothing.
I would not want
I'm
to
just
try
kidding.
that.
I have no idea. I've never seen bagged.
It doesn't get much weirder than this.
Although I do I do wonder how a German team came up with a Canadian milk. Oh, Jade is Canadian. Ah, that's why.
Yeah, and it looks like this team have also gone for the highest difficulty as well.
Which is interesting compared to all the other teams. The only other team that hasn't done this most difficult house is Team All Stars, and they went first. So perhaps, as you've pointed out before, Cedric, it's possible that going first is kind of a disadvantage in a way because you don't get to see what other teams do.
And it's almost like you need to do as good as you can if you're performing later. So you know that you're ahead of all the other teams.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Only 3 players in this map. Blazing Shot, Jade, and Punish.
Yeah. Interesting position adopted by Blazing Shot here.
I believe he's going to be shooting Punish, who's the jumper. And the Magnum, Jade, will be able to help give a boost with the first shot and a second shot.
Oh, I like this.
What?
Almost. That was a good attempt. Just need to get a little. The height is perfect from the hammer shooting itself, from Punish shooting himself, and from Jade.
I think this must be the one I like the most as far as creativity goes.
Yeah, it's interesting. Really using their surroundings to their advantage.
Yeah, taking advantage as well of the fact that Magnum can shoot once as high as possible, and then a second time as soon as it reloads, and hit nearly at the same time, which is another of the tricks we discovered way back when FNF and TFP were doing that collab.
Yeah. So many possibilities with Magnum. It's one of those turrets that so useful for parkour.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm curious how the Gauss turret will feature in parkour.
Oh, and it looks like he's got
Wow, satisfying to watch.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Blazing shots, hammer shots. I think he shot twice, and it really made a big impact on the on the jumper.
Yeah, and then Punish obviously had that hammer shot just to push himself backwards onto the house.
Yeah. Overall, a really, really nice trick.
Yeah, very strong. So we're just waiting on the result for this one.
See whether they've bagged this one.
Oh boy, I can't wait for all these jokes coming from Cedric.
Yeah, I remember when we were setting up the live stream, I was discussing with Skeletor. He said, like, I'm not gonna do any presenting. Like, I'll leave it to the professionals. I'll just be there for comic relief.
Well, so far so good.
Yeah.
And Team Bagged Milk comes in with a final score of 111, which puts them in second place behind Team Fly to High, who has 113 points. Just to probably that those couple points are a result of Team Fly to High getting on the house in their first attempt and taking 3 or 4 attempts for Team Bagged Milk. And then in third place, we have the Flying Parkourists' first team. And fourth place, we have the Flying Parkourists' third team with 83 points. And, of course, 92 points for the third place team. And then, unfortunately, eliminated from the competition are the first 2 teams to participate. Team No Micros from FNF with a score of 82 points. And Team All Stars with a score of 59 points.
Yeah. Although
Overall,
we've got to give it to them for getting this far though, because they did really have some impressive video.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, really well done from all 6 of these teams, and I'm really excited to see what they have in store for us in the semifinals, which will come up in just a few moments.
Yep.
So right now we will have a quiz on the live stream for all the participants to have a chance to win promo codes, and yeah. So let's do this quiz. What are where do I see the question?
I'll read the question. So,
okay.
In which year was the first version of Masters of Parkour held?
This is an interesting one. I was actually wondering about it.
Yeah. And it's been going a little while now, and each year has just been amazing.
Yeah, it's been a blast, especially to see the process, how we modify the contest each year.
Yeah, and so many great prizes as well. And we should really talk about the prizes. So the first place will get 100,000 crystals, 200 units of each supply, 50 containers, the headset Canyon Star Raider and gaming keyboard, Genius Scorpion K6.
Wow.
Second place will get 60,000 crystals, 120 units of each supply, 30 containers, and the keyboard Genius Scorpion K6 as well.
That's a fantastic keyboard, by the way.
Yes, amazing, yeah. Third place will get 40,000 crystals, 80 units of each supply, 20 containers, and the headset Canyon Corax, which is a phenomenal piece of kit. And then the rest of the finalists will all get 20,000 crystals each and 10 containers as well. So, plenty to be had.
Yeah, big prize. Quick interjection for the quiz and live stream. You should, Felix, correct me if I'm wrong. Put your answers for the quiz in the special form, which has been posted in the chat.
Yeah, nice and simple.
And of course, we will select winners, who will receive promo codes.
Yep.
With under 2 minutes left, yeah. Someone wrote 1945 in the chat.
Oh boy.
So we have 145 answers already. How many?
Wow.
Yeah.
And how many winners are we selecting? 2? 3? I mean, pick a number, Felix.
We'll have a few.
We'll have a good number.
Yeah. So there's a chance that you guys will still win a promo code.
Oh, there's a good chance.
Yeah.
I'll say the more participation, the more prizes we'll give out. So the more people that you get to watch the live stream and participate in these quizzes, the more chances you'll have to win these promo codes. And of course, we have yet to mention this, but there's a huge giveaway at the end of this stream, where we will be giving away 50k crystals and the animated flow paint to 3 winners. So you guys should stick around for that, because that's a big prize. Can I get that for myself? Just wondering.
Yeah, I can in as well, please.
You have to BCM for that.
Oh, Cedric, abusing your powers again.
Always. He attack, and most of all, he hack. Someone made that meme about me a while ago. Probably my favorite one.
Oh man,
talking about prizes?
Sorry, go ahead.
Talking about prizes, I want to just take this opportunity to remind everyone that Theo's birthday is coming up, 10th birthday, which is a really big deal for us, you know.
Wow, happy birthday.
Not many games. Yeah, not many games, especially online games. Not many games make it to 10 years. Some of them don't even make it to 2 years. And for a game that started out as a showcase, so as a mini project to show off a gaming engine. I mean, Tanki Online wasn't even intended to be a game. Here we are.
Yeah, and it's amazing to see how much it's progressed and changed throughout the years as well.
Especially in the last year and a half.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Like the amount of updates that we've had. Now it's okay, people might argue too many updates, or a lot of some updates were crappy, but
you're going to have that in every single game.
Absolutely. But what I want to remind you is that with the 10-year celebrations, we're gonna have loads of amazing prizes, and like all sorts of giveaways. We're gonna have contests, special stuff. So do hang around and participate in the 10-year celebration.
Huge celebration. So, out of the hundreds of participants in the quiz, we had 41 correct answers. And of those 41 answers that were correct, we are going to select 20 winners to receive promo codes. So, you have pretty much a 1 in 2 chance of getting one of those promo codes.
If you got the answer correct.
Yes, of course. Sorry. Had to...
It wasn't 1945 for the record.
It wasn't?
Really? It was not 1945.
Full of surprises, Cedric.
Yeah, so we're going to now reveal the next map for the next round of the finals.
So let's watch this video. All right.
We're on Kungur, right?
Yes, we are.
Indeed.
And we have our 4 teams for this stage. And it looks like the team with the lowest amount of points is going to start. And progressively...
Yeah, which is the Flying Parkourists 3.
Right.
So rewarding the teams that got the highest score in the first round with the last slot in the semifinal. So they kind of get to see what all the other teams did before them and how well they did. And
from what we've seen in the previous round, it is a competitive advantage.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's see what TFP3 come up with.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. They've got 3 Wasps, a Ricochet, Hammer, and a Striker.
So, Do or Die looks like he's going to be the jumper.
Yeah.
Oh, perhaps.
Maybe Spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, because he's in the blue
Die
team.
will use Ricochet to hit him upwards.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then the Spirit can also shoot himself with Hammer.
Oh no, so it is Do or Die.
So we were right the first time. And they get up the first try. Wow, look at that.
Yeah, a bit similar to which team was it?
I believe it was Fly to High with the Dictator Freezes.
That was the one. Similar to that trick, where he sort of just went up the side of the building.
And again, we see this team opt for the highest difficulty to get as many points as possible.
Yeah, so well done to them for being bold right at the start, which I think is the key. You want to try and get as many points as you can, because you don't know how well the next teams are going to perform, so you're setting them
I
up.
guess that was a lesson learned the hard way for All Stars.
I will say once again, the spectacular aspect of certain parkour tricks was a little bit lost in that iteration of the trick, but at the same time, it was really creative. In the way they got up. So
they also made up for it in the time as well. They did that really quickly.
Certainly, first attempt.
Yeah, that said, you have to understand that the time is only 20% of the score.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah, I would definitely say that the biggest problem with having a more spectacular, higher flying trick is that, as you said before, Cedric, it's difficult to get onto the house on the first try. It's just difficult with all of the tanky physics to aim exactly, get the right distance, get the right height, and land not flipped. So it's kind of the 20% of time and attempts versus the spectacularness of the trick.
I think the ratio of judges versus time limit works well because it doesn't push teams to go for the fastest route either. It still encourages creativity.
And
Absolutely.
we'd much rather see creative tricks than see boring ones that only take about 10 seconds.
Absolutely.
So one thing to note as we move on to the Flying Parkourists' first team, who scored, I believe, 92 points in the first round, is that only 2 of these 4 teams competing in the semifinals will move on to the grand finals, and the other 2 will compete for the 3rd and 4th place spots.
Yeah.
And Team Flying Parkourists 3 has set a really high bar with the highest score that we've seen yet of 119 points.
Wow.
Again, we see the judges rewarding this kind of approach that we saw earlier with Fly to High. Really similar. The trick was fairly similar, but in this case, they had a longer, a higher distance to travel.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But it's one of those tricks you don't really see coming.
But I wonder now what if other teams are gonna try this. Will will it lose its appeal this time? It's interesting to see.
Yeah. So we're underway for this trick for the flying parkourists with Hate, Zone, and Espoir.
And it looks like they are using the back wall.
Yeah.
To get Espoir, I assume, is going to be the jumper up onto the.
I think Hate missed his opportunity.
Yeah, Hate's probably going to try to get onto the back wall, and then he'll be the guy that shoots Espoir with the railgun onto the house.
Yeah, struggling to get onto Espoir though.
All right, Hate, you got this.
Yeah, good.
Well done.
That's all it needed.
Yeah, and he manages to get up. This is a long setup, so I'm worried. What happens if they don't get up the first time? And perhaps Hate will be the jumper, actually.
Yeah, he's going to fall down by the looks of things, and Espoir will...
Oh no, he's placed a mine, that's why.
Yeah.
But this has taken a long time to set up.
Espoir's self-destructed. I think he's used the wrong drone.
That is unfortunate to see. This is taking them a really long time to achieve, but hopefully they'll manage to get it in the first couple tries. Because
again,
it's quite out of character for TFB, to be honest, to pick the wrong drone. Like, it's not something that they would do.
Yeah, a bit of a rookie mistake, really. But again, the time isn't the most important thing. As long as we see a more creative trick, then I guess that's what matters.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing to note, however, is that Espoir has... Oh, and he self-destructs on top. The one thing to note is that they also had a bit of a difficulty in the first round setting up their trick, and it took them a long time, and they didn't really plan as well as some of the other teams did, which really I think was a problem for them then, and hopefully, I mean it's been a problem for them in this round as well.
Yeah. Let's see if they can get it this time. They were close previously, but just Hate went a little bit too high. I mean, Espoir, sorry.
Yeah. And they don't get shot. The wrong.
Nice catch from Hate.
Yeah, easy setup.
Yeah. It's all about luck if you flip or don't flip on the way down.
Well, there's some skill involved when you're with a turret like Thunder, which can kind of help you unflip in the air.
I suppose, yeah.
But it takes a lot of cool nerves.
Yeah, and timing. This looks...
And he did not get up. But he lands perfectly.
Yeah. Can't complain, really.
Yeah. It's interesting, that first attempt when Espoir got all the way over and self-destructed above the house, the mines and Hate's railgun were too much power.
And again, overshot again.
They've overshot.
Yeah.
And yet all of their other attempts, they have undershot. They just haven't gotten the right distance.
Yeah, it's all about the timing and getting the shots exactly where they want it.
And again, notice, as we said, so many things could go wrong.
Yeah, it's one of those tricks.
Yeah, they would definitely benefit from having another jumper as well.
Oof. Again, slightly off.
Yeah, beautiful landing though, just not on the house.
Yeah, so these guys have...
Down to less than 30 seconds now.
Yeah, 20 seconds to go.
Probably have time for 1, maybe 2 attempts.
Yeah, if they hurry up. Maybe just this one, to be honest. It's now or never for these guys.
5 seconds left.
Can they do it?
Oh, no.
Self-destruct. If he hadn't self-destructed, this looked kind of promising.
Yeah, that was promising. I think
the way he
would've
was
gone
moving.
on.
Yeah.
Man, that's an unfortunate result.
But ultimately, that is the live esports.
Perhaps they have time for one more.
They?
I don't know. Time has yet to be called.
Seems like they're still going.
I think 5 seconds left. If they get this one off in time, then it probably counts.
And they're going for it.
He's
missed his shot.
No joy.
But I believe they are out of time, no?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. They just haven't been informed. So tough luck to them.
Can we get confirmation on that, Felix?
Yeah.
On whether they're out of time? Okay, should we tell them that?
They're still going. Legend has it they'll still be going forever and ever and ever. Tomorrow they'll still be doing it.
Maybe they'll make it in time for next year's edition.
Maybe.
Here's to hoping.
And they'll come in first, but it will just be the wrong map.
Oh man. Well, it was a valiant effort.
Yeah.
Just probably not planned as well as it could have been, and as a result, they end up with a result of 79 points compared to TFP3's result of 119. Excuse me, 81 points, not 79. I misspoke.
Yep.
There's still hope, though. Team Bagged Milk and Team Fly to High still have an opportunity to score. And if they get below 81 points, then the two TFP teams will be in the finals. Yeah. Although, for some reason, I just don't see that happening based on Bagged Milk and Fly to High's previous scores of 111 and 113.
Yeah, because these guys got the highest points in the first round, so...
You never know.
Yeah.
You really never know. There's so many variables in there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I will say though, these four finalist or semi-finalist teams are all part of a major parkour club, and in fact, Team FNF, no micros, they missed out just by 1 point. So all 5 of the top teams were from big parkour clubs, and we can see that quality in this grand final in the stream.
Yeah, we can. It's parkour of the highest quality.
Absolutely. I'm really enjoying this. I'm actually quite sick today. It was a real effort for me to show up.
We're glad you came.
Yeah. No, I am glad I came. It's just pretty inconvenienced.
And it looks like Punish, Jade, and Blazing Shot from Team Bagged Milk are in the map. And once again, they're going for the highest difficulty house in the map.
Yeah.
It looks like the earlier, like the easier options are pretty much being thrown out.
Yeah, definitely. They want to get the maximum points.
Certainly. And if they have the ability to, then it's worth it.
Yeah. Who do you think is jumping here? Jade?
It looks like the Firebird is going to jump.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
That is a cool trick.
Wow.
What was
and just over. So the Wasp Hammer runs and shoots in a way that he turns in midair so that he becomes a ramp, and then Punish, the Dictator, drives over him and shoots the Wasp Hammer.
That's so smart. Wow.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
It's a really creative way of creating a ramp.
Better and better each time. Wow.
The problem, of course, is timing is very difficult.
Yeah, exactly.
However, it's a pretty easy setup because punish generally will not flip fully, so he can get back pretty quickly.
Oof. It's so mesmerizing to watch it, though, don't you think?
Absolutely.
And
just how Blazing Shot kind of turns. Yeah.
Yeah, I really want them to pull this one off because it's just so cool to watch.
Yeah, me too. Luckily, they can reset very quickly, so they have.
Yeah, that's the good thing for them.
It is a very difficult trick, though.
And the fact that Jade, the jumper, is on the red side, so respawn time will be faster.
Still more than half time left.
Yep, good spawn from Jade, close to the base. Here we go again.
I hope this turns out well.
Oh, it's promising.
Good.
Oh,
and he's up.
Nice.
That was smooth.
Right on the corner of the house.
I mean,
well
blazing Shot's jump wasn't quite convincing, but they did make it work, which is the beauty of parkour in the end. You know, like you slip a bit, but you still make the best
that's when
out
the
of it.
skill of the parkourist comes into play.
So instinctive at the top of the house.
Yeah. Great job.
Nice. 152 points.
Wow. I didn't know that was possible. Oh, I guess because of the multiplier. It's because the multiplier is 1.5. Their maximum is not 125.
Yeah. But nonetheless, what a stunning trick.
Yeah, that was really well done. And props to them for pulling it off too.
Yeah. Whew. So it's just bagged milk left for this round.
Fly to high, I believe. Or was that bagged milk?
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
This was bagged milk, so we've got fly to high next.
And they have 4 players in the map, unlike the other 3 teams. So I can't wait to see what they pull off.
It's really a do or die for them at this point.
So they need to get a higher score than the flying parkour 3. Yeah. But anything less, and they're out.
Well, they're not out. They're competing for 3rd place.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Which of course is not their end goal, but it's still something. They still get that that keyboard or the headset if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And they get to keep the lovely paint as well.
Oh, absolutely. Let's see what they have in store for us. My guess is the Ricochet is the jumper. And he'll probably shoot himself up. Off of the...
Oh,
and he gets on first time. Wow.
That was nice.
That was a nice setup. I like that.
Very simple.
Yeah, and using the power of the Rico to their advantage, bouncing off of himself. Great use of alterations.
Definitely.
I'm interested to see how this compares. It doesn't seem as creative as the previous trick, but they did pull it off in much less time. So I'll be interested to see how their score stacks up against the other 3.
Yeah, in terms of how it all balances.
Another thing I've noticed is that the judges seem to reward tricks that involve all 4 members of the parkour team in an important way.
Suppose it requires a lot of coordination.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of shows the difficulty and the creativity of being able to use all the materials possible in order to get the best trick out of the.
Mm-hmm.
So the final score for this team is 108, which puts them in third place, behind Bagged Milk with 152 points and the Flying Parkourists 3 with 119 points. Of course, third place is Fly to High with 108 points, and fourth place is the Flying Parkourists first team with 81 points. What that means is coming up, we will see a bronze match between Fly to High and the Flying Parkourists first team. And after that, we will see the grand final with Team Bagged Milk facing off against the Flying Parkourists 3.
Yeah, well,
I'm really excited to see this.
Definitely the two strongest teams have got through to the final, I think. Really shown us some amazing tricks.
Oh, I mean, very well deserved.
Yeah.
So, in this delay, we will have our second quiz question. For all of you still watching in the live stream, we have once again a bunch of prizes to give away. So,
yeah, promo
James,
codes again.
Take it away.
So, next question is, which map included a low gravity mode for the first time in Tanki's history?
Oh man, that's a real throwback.
Long time. See if any of you can jog your minds back to then.
That has to be what, 8 years?
Yeah.
Maybe 7.
I came in contact with Tanki online, I think, in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. 6
and
7 years.
I remember they were phasing out on one particular map at the time.
Doing our best not to give it away.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we hadn't opened the form until just now, so we apologize for that. But now you should be able to submit your answers to the Google form, and
so
then we'll be able to select winners.
Same procedure as last time. Select a certain few out of the winners, and you guys will get promo codes.
Okay.
So it seems there was a technical difficulty with the form, but you will have additional time to submit your answers, so go ahead. I remind you the question, which map included a low gravity mode for the first time in Tanki's history? Low gravity mode was removed for a time and then it was brought back. So if you've only been in the game recently, think about what might have happened before that. Next, we're going to be seeing. Is it
Flying Parkour 3?
I just lost the right tab. What I wanted. So many tabs, so many things. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So TFP1 and Fly Too High fighting for the third place.
Yeah.
I think they both have a fair shot for it. We've seen some nice moves from both of them. Quite prepared.
Yeah, Fly to High's first trick was really creative and actually netted them the highest score in the quarterfinals. Yeah. Unfortunately, they weren't able to come through in the top 2 in the semifinals. But that first trick really bodes well for them in this final stage.
Yeah, I've been so impressed with the creativity of all these teams, actually. And it seems to be even a big step up from the previous years as well.
Absolutely.
I've never really seen parkour this exciting, and it's amazing to watch it in real time as well.
How long did they have to prepare? I mean, how long did they? 3 or 4 days. I mean, 3 or 4 days is nothing really.
Yeah, exactly.
Parkour.
And it's amazing. You see in the videos as well how you see all these perfect tricks. You never know what goes on behind that, and the amount of trial and error that goes on in order to make these tricks possible, and to see it actually happening is pretty amazing as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, so much. So I'm sure they've tried so many different tricks in each of these maps, just to decide which trick suits them the best and which one is going to net them the most points. There is 1 minute left to answer the quiz question, which, as a reminder, is to be submitted in the form provided in the chat, and we already have 180 answers.
Wow. A lot of you guys tuning in.
Yeah, I love to see how the community really enjoys this parkour. Wow, I'm famous. That's good. Props to whoever set it up, right, Fabi?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I have to say that the organization team did a fantastic job.
Oh yeah, hats off.
I barely got involved at all. I mean, all I did was write a few announcements and stuff like that, because I've been so swamped with the 10th anniversary preparations. But seriously, the team just took care of everything, and they did a fantastic job, down to every tiny detail.
Yeah.
Apparently, the final has been in preparation for over 3 months.
Wow.
It's a lot of work and so many people involved.
I'm impressed with the dedication as well. It's just phenomenal. And to see it running so smoothly as well in the final, it's great to see.
It's really paid off. You can tell.
And you have to understand that these people are all volunteers as well. You know, you have to appreciate that. These people are not getting paid. I've seen less dedication from employees.
Yeah.
Companies.
$114. Wow. 114 correct answers.
Wow. A lot of maybe old players in the comments then.
Yeah. So momentarily we will be selecting the winner, or the winners rather.
Yeah.
And you will of course be informed and given promo codes if you've won.
It's really hard to see who will actually win this competition. Don't you think?
Oh yeah, I'm really excited. I'm looking forward. I can't decide who's going to win third place competition. I can't decide who's going to win the final competition.
No.
It's all up in the air. All four of these teams have really shown some fantastic parkour in their entries for the 1 minute videos and for these live tricks, which is a lot of pressure.
Yeah,
I'm really
absolutely.
impressed. Cedric, do either of you have any Any ideas? Any predictions for who's going to win third place and who's going to take home the first place prize?
I really cannot imagine it because
it's so hard to tell.
One second, because
it's so hard to tell who will actually do best, because you just simply don't know what they've got up their sleeves.
Oh yeah, these guys have been parkouring for years and years.
Yeah, they'll have a whole vocabulary of tricks.
Sorry about the interruption, guys. I'm not alone at home, and I've got a 7-year-old son who doesn't understand the concept of don't talk to daddy because he's busy right now. So yeah, well, I was saying the scoreboard has been all over the place, really, and you can't really tell because one team has performed well and gone down or gone up. So there's really no way of telling, and each map is different, each situation is different. So yeah.
And speaking of, we will be announcing the map for the bronze final in this upcoming video. So let us see what that map is. So as you all saw from the video, silence matchmaking, the map for the bronze finals, and I look forward to seeing what these guys have in store. Based on the past 2 rounds, it seems very likely that both teams will go for the highest difficulty trick, but that's a pretty difficult task, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you would think they'll go for the highest trick. At this stage, you've got, you've really got to be bold.
And in fact, they aren't going for the highest stage. Yeah, they're actually going for the medium difficulty.
Oh wow!
Which, to be honest, it might be. It's a risk averse choice, but it might be a good choice in the end.
Yeah, well, considering there's only 2 teams in this stage, there's less teams to compete against, and a higher chance that you will get a better score than the other team. So
yeah, absolutely.
Maybe that is the smarter decision.
And this is really, Cedric, where what you said earlier comes into play with going second. It really gives the other team an advantage. Fly to High will have a good chance of, or a great opportunity to see how well the flying parkourists do and how well they score, and then base their decision of which difficulty they choose and what kind of trick they do off of the flying parkourists' score.
So yes, in the flying parkours, we've got Hate, Espoir, and Zone. Just the 3 of them. And it'll be interesting to see what they can pull off.
I would imagine that Zone is going to be the jumper with the Hammer and Wasp, but it's also possible that Espoir will get onto the house with his Dictator.
Yeah, and it's quite obvious that Hate will shoot his well, not obvious, but he might shoot his magnum up to propel Zone.
So Espoir is getting on top of Hate, and Zone is getting on top of Espoir.
Yeah.
So it's looking to me like Zone will be the jumper. Huh.
Interesting.
I'm wondering what they're doing. Perhaps they're changing equipment.
Yeah, I'm confused.
Zone up there, and then they're gonna change equipment and help him jump onto the house.
A long setup, but again, like we know from before, that the time isn't really too much of an issue. What we're looking for is a really creative trick, and this seems to be ticking that box so far.
Absolutely. The only problem with this, perhaps Espoir is now the jumper, and Zone is just going to shoot him and help him get onto the house. Interesting.
Yeah, this is amazing. Ooh.
And he self-destructs in the air.
Yeah, too much really juice.
I think, he took too much damage.
Yeah. But it's fine. It's good that Zone is up there now, and there's very slim chance of him, getting destroyed.
Yeah, so this isn't
once he's up there, end of story.
Yeah. So I guess maybe that was the hardest part of the trick, getting him up, or the longest part, I should say.
Yeah, certainly. Let's see if it pays off.
Yeah. Not this time. Espoir flips.
Just because we've had a couple of or many questions in the chat, just to clarify, promo codes for the winners of the quizzes, in-game quizzes, those promo codes will be sent in-game after the end of the stream.
Yeah, so just remember to check your garage afterwards.
Good air.
Ooh.
Oof, so close.
Very close. He's got such a long distance to travel.
Yeah, it really takes the spectacular aspect of this trick.
About half time, so they still have some time to spare.
Yeah. I think
really
they'll do it.
Advantage of all the whole time that they have.
Yeah.
Here he goes.
Oh, this looks good.
Promising a little bit off.
Oof. Close.
And again, Murphy's Law strikes.
Anything that can go wrong will
Do you
go
think that maybe Zone should be a little bit to his left, in front of that little pillar?
Perhaps, but
or is yeah.
I would say that's probably not a big aspect of the trick. I think it's mostly about how Espoir drives up and then
That's
shoots.
true. But it just means that he could maybe be a little bit more to the left, allowing him a bit more to aim at, really. But 1 minute left for these guys.
Maybe 3 attempts if they get lucky.
Yeah, about 3. 2, maybe 3.
And if I remember correctly, they were unable to complete their trick in the semifinals, although it was a very interesting setup for their trick. So hopefully they managed to get on the house in this one.
Yeah, and in doing so, if they get a higher score than Fly to High,
bad luck again,
can get 40,000 crystals each. So
yeah, big prize there. Maybe time for one attempt.
Yeah, if Espoir can get back in time. She's racing up just now. Yeah. It's going to need to be fast.
Their final attempt.
Oh,
unlucky. And
yeah.
S-Bar is unable to survive.
Full credit to them for the creativity, but unfortunately couldn't pull the trick off in time.
I would have loved to see that trick succeed.
Oh yeah, me too.
It was almost 2 tricks in one. Getting zone up to the top and then changing equipment and setting up for this part of the trick.
To me, it was as spectacular as what we saw with bagged milk, with the twisting thing. The flying tank became the ramp. It was bagged milk, right?
I believe so, yeah. Netted them 152 points. So, up next we have Fly Too High, I believe. Hoping to score higher than the Flying Parkourists' first team, who just netted 74 points.
Yeah.
So Fly Too High.
So this is interesting to see what it will be interesting to see what kind of strategic approach they take, because TFP didn't finish their trick, so as a result they got a fairly low score. Will Fly Too High go the easy route and pick the easy building and eyes on that? But maybe the multiplier will be too low and they will end up falling short anyway.
That's
if you look at the score for Team All Stars in the first round, they played on the medium difficulty and still got just 59 points.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how Fly Too High strategize, and it looks to me like they're actually the highest difficulty trick, in spite of the fact that it's such a small landing area. So we'll see how this works out for him.
Yeah, so they've got 4 guys in this trick: Think, Archive, Tanki, 781, and Dynast. So yeah, let's see if they can do it.
Thoughts on which one of them is going to be a jumper?
Oh, I would think maybe Tanki, 781.
That's my guess, but
yeah, just because he's got the lightest hull.
So many surprises.
Oh yeah.
Who knows?
It could even be one of the dictators.
I mean, we've seen dictators jump in the past, so it's not unheard of.
And they're off.
They are off.
Yeah.
Great minds think alike.
Exactly.
Oh. Well, unfortunately, we were wrong. They have yet to start, but we'll restart in a moment.
It better be good after this.
All right, now they go. This looks like a very similar setup to their previous trick.
So it looks like Tanki 781 is going to be... Oh, actually, yeah.
So yeah, Tanki 781 is going to drive up and then use Think as a ramp.
Oof.
Just didn't get him high enough.
Yeah, interesting angle that Think's at.
Yeah, so it's
perfect bumps.
He's using his hull to kind of bounce Tanki 781 upwards, and then the twins will give him the boost that he needs.
Very smart.
I think the mine needs to be closer to Think.
Yeah, maybe. Just to push him backwards.
It's possible. Sometimes they're just slightly glitchy mines, and it's just a matter of getting it to work right and getting lucky, which, of course, is a big aspect of parkour.
That's true. Ooh,
looks good. Off
Jinxed
to the side a little bit.
Yeah. Very close.
Yeah, good attempt. I wonder if it would be worth it for Dynast to be a second jumper.
Possibly, and then change the equipment depending on who got up fastest.
Yeah.
What's Dynast doing exactly besides placing the mine?
Nothing. Which is something that perhaps the judges will take into account. I'm not sure exactly.
You'd assume
what
he's part of the second aspect of the trick, but still.
Yeah, he's really just a setup man.
Yeah.
How much time do we have left? Or do they have left? Okay, so they're about halfway through.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes to go. We're still waiting on Tanki 781 to get up onto the top.
It is a nice setup for the trick, though.
Yeah, if we see it get pulled off. This looks promising.
Ooh, got the height, but not the...
Yeah.
See, again, this hard difficulty is arguably so much harder than any of the other ones, just because of the small landing area. It makes it really difficult for them to get on top, or to land correctly, land accurately.
Yeah, because it's all one thing getting it set up correctly and placing the mine correctly, and it's a whole different ballgame trying to get the tank to sit perfectly on that ledge.
Yeah, as we saw, that one was really close, but it was just a little bit too short. And if the landing area were any bigger, that would have been successful.
Yeah.
So perhaps, I mean, I'm speaking too soon, but perhaps the flying parkourists' attempt at a lower difficulty house might pay off in the long run.
Yeah, possibly.
If neither of them complete the jump, it will be interesting to see what kind of points they get.
Yeah,
I'm sure
you're right. Yeah.
The 1.5 multiplier on for the hardest difficulty, yeah, will probably have a role in that. But it'll be interesting to see. Yeah.
So that's probably why they took the risk of trying the high difficulty.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They know that they had. It wasn't likely for them that they would lose.
But at the same time,
they wouldn't lose.
They probably could have done a simpler trick to get onto a different house.
But then the multiplier would have killed them.
Well, potentially, but they also would have gotten onto the house, so they probably would have gotten a higher score from the judges. I don't know. It's an interesting dilemma for sure.
If you look at Team All-Star, at what happened to Team All-Stars, and you got 59 points.
Yeah, that's true.
But I suppose if they've gone with this method and they just have to stick with it and do the best possible job that they can.
Yeah, absolutely. Just about a minute left. Oh, the time's up. So is this their last attempt?
That
is unfortunate.
Time's up, and they have failed the trick. But let's see what the judges think.
Yeah, I think it'll be quite close.
Oh man, drum roll in the chat.
The judges are almost done voting.
Oh man.
It's gonna be pretty close.
Yeah, very, very tense.
So, for the bronze final, in third place overall, with 85 points, is Team Fly Too High.
Ooh. So the high difficulty, difficulty definitely paid off then.
Absolutely, put them just about 10 points above the medium difficulty of the flying parkour trick, who come in fourth place with 74 points. Yeah. And what that means for their prizes is third place, Fly to High, receives 40,000 crystals, 80 units of each supply, 20 containers, and the headset Canyon Corax. So congratulations to them for a fantastic job in this tournament. And of course, congratulations to the Flying Parkourists first team for their great work throughout this final and in the submission video.
Yeah, and they're not going away empty-handed because they still get 20,000 crystals and 10 containers each. So well done to them.
Absolutely.
Now, before we move on to the grand final, in which the GTT team bagged milk and the Flying Parkourists 3 team will be competing. Right before that, we will have a short break for a quiz. The final quiz of the day before we pick, of course, the final winners at the end of the stream, which three people will get 50,000 crystals and an animated flow paint. So stick around for that. And right now we will transition into the quiz.
Yeah. So the next question is, what is the name of the paint awarded to the winners of Parkour Survival 2017?
So you have a couple minutes to answer. And once again, answer in the chat, or in the Google form that we provide in the live stream chat.
Suppose with this question, you don't have to jog your memory back as far as the previous ones.
Yeah, I remember. Maybe I'm being too nostalgic on this stream, but I remember when we set up Parkour Survival, Swift Smokey and me and plenty of other people contributed, and that was a really fun tournament that we had.
Yeah.
I'd actually love to see Parkour Survival come back.
Yeah, it was such a popular competition.
Something continuous throughout the year. You know, with challengers coming in. I mean, it's something ongoing.
Yeah, that would definitely be an interesting addition to the parkour community.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you guys think? Like, I'm asking the audience here: should we bring back Parkour Survival? So tell us in the comments.
So, what are you guys expecting to see from the Flying Parkourists third team and Bagged Milk?
Oh man, really fantastic tricks is what I'm expecting.
Yeah, exactly, because these arguably are the two best teams that we've seen so far. And obviously the points have reflected that, but just their creativity and sort of flair that they've shown in this competition just been outstanding.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to see what they have in store for us.
GTT have made quite the comeback. I remember 2017 Masters of Parkour. I think they didn't perform badly, but they didn't make it to the top 3. Maybe they made 3rd place.
I do believe that they were disappointed in their final result. But they've put in some effort in these past months, and they've been doing a really great job with their team.
It shows.
How much time left on the... Wow. So time is up for the quiz submissions, and we got a total of 191 submissions.
Wow.
Of course, the question was, what is the name of the paint awarded to the winners of Parkour Survival 2017? And 117 people answered correctly. The correct answer was the sky paint. So, of those 117 winners, we will select 20 winners, and those 20 people will be awarded with promo codes in after the stream is over.
Sky was a beautiful paint.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, gorgeous. Do you have that paint yourself, Ben?
I do not. I was actually one of the organizers of the Parkour Survival team, and so Cedric was unwilling. I'm not salty about this at all, Cedric, but he was unwilling to give me the.
It's okay. You can
paint in my garage.
I have it. Because
Oh,
I'm
thanks,
CM.
Cedric. Making me feel better. No, I remember
have any paint I want. Anything.
when that paint got designed. We were really excited because we saw the paint. It's a fantastic paint.
Yeah. Was it not an older paint used previously from, I can't remember which holiday it was, quite a number of years back?
It was a long, long time ago. It was before my time. So, with that being said, we are going to move on to the grand final, between the Flying Parkourists 3 and Team Bagged Milk. So right now we will show the video announcing what the final map is. So the final map, the grand final, is Polygon. And I can't wait to see what these teams have in store.
Oh, yeah. So this is TFP3. We've got Olymp, Spirit, and Do or Die in the map.
Hard setting seems to be really challenging.
Yeah.
So I wonder whether anyone will risk going for it, because there's so many opportunities, so many ways things could go wrong here.
Yeah, this is such a small landing area, similar to Silence. this pipe is pretty difficult to get on top of.
Yeah, but it is the grand final, and we want to see the best of the best.
Oh, fair enough.
And they are off. Who do they have in store?
I think Do or Die will be the jumper.
Absolutely. It looks like a limp's going to be a ramp.
Yep.
And Spirit will support. Spirit using that 2 Magnum shot trick.
Nice timing.
Do or Die yeah.
Ooh.
And
Has he
just
done it?
misses. Oh, so close. But that bodes well for their next attempts.
Yeah.
This does take a little bit of, this does take a little bit of time to set up though.
That's the thing.
The tunnel does make it harder. The tunnel at the bottom.
Yeah, they can't just ramp up easily onto it. They have to place the mine every time.
This requires so much good timing, like especially from Spirit. Oh,
and he's up.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Yeah, couldn't have gone more smoothly.
Beautiful.
Well done from TFP3. And now we are anxiously awaiting the judges' scores.
Yeah, I mean that was impressive doing that on the second attempt.
Yeah,
yeah,
that'll definitely be reflected in their attempt and time score.
So yeah, that's the judges finished.
And their final score for the Flying Parkourists 3 is 129 points, which is the second highest total we have seen out of any tricks. So that sets a high bar for Bagged Milk, Team GTT.
Yeah, we're set up for a great finale.
Here, the one thing I will mention though is the only score that was higher than the 129 of the Flying Parkourists just now happens to be by Team Bagged Milk.
Oh wow!
So we'll see if they can top their previous score.
This is so intense.
It's interesting to note that in the first round, TFP3 did quite poorly. He barely made it into the contest. They were at the very bottom.
They've just been working their way up ever since.
Yeah, and look at them now.
They started with 83 at the very bottom, made it into the next round, and then 119 points. Which, again, wasn't exactly. Now, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. So the next jumpers for Bagged Milk, we've got Blazing Shot, Jade, and Punish.
Just 3 players. I wonder what they have in store for us.
I wonder who's jumping. I think maybe Jade.
That would be my guess. And it looks to me like they're actually going for the medium difficulty instead of the high difficulty. So with a score of 129, that sets a really high bar.
Yeah, they're going to have to
score
be
really well creative.
Yeah, super creative with this trick. So it'll be interesting to see what they've got up their sleeves. And we're off.
So Punish ramps up.
Yep. Jade goes over. And blazing shot.
Is Punish going all the way around?
It looks like it. Yeah.
What are they planning to do?
I don't know, but this looks cool.
I'm venturing a guess that Punish is going to ramp up and then shoot. Jade will run over him.
Yes.
But they're on the same team, so this mine is not going to work. Jade needs to be, Punish needs to be on the red team.
Yeah, he's realised that now.
Wow, what a big mistake.
Ooh, has that cost them the competition?
I don't know. This is an entertaining trick though, if they can pull it off.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to get that landing spot correct. But the way the blazing shot is set up, it does give them points for creativity.
It's interesting to note how the pressure affects the players, because this was a very rookie mistake.
Yeah, I think their minds are just so set on getting the trick right that they don't think of simple things like this.
Yeah.
Oof.
It's a pity, really, but that's esports.
Yeah, that's what happens. Jade just missing it narrowly. Didn't get the air.
And now he's taking a while to get set up to go all the way around.
Yeah.
I think it would have been easier for him just to go all the way around rather than fool around.
Hey man, some people just want to show off their solo parkour skills. Cedric.
Yeah, I mean, he's on TV.
Can't fault him for that. Exactly.
15 minutes of fame.
I will say, I really do like the setup.
Yeah, it's creative.
But it's just, I don't know, it's too risky for me.
Yeah, I mean,
it takes too long to get set.
Yeah, they're not filling me with too much confidence about.
And the speed that Jade is going at too in the air, it's too fast, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, and this is medium difficulty. It's not even the hard difficulty. So they're really at a disadvantage now. I don't think it was a very smart move of them to go for a medium difficulty after their opponents had just finished a hard difficulty in 2 shots.
That's a good point. Because they already know, so they've got to one-up that in a sense.
It's like they had the intel but ignored it completely.
Yeah.
Oh,
now
he almost got up there.
Closest one yet.
And they have just over a minute left. Probably time, if they get lucky with their setup, for maybe 3 attempts.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably 2.
Yeah.
Because if you think Jade still needs to... Sorry, Blazing Shot still needs to get into that little corner.
Yeah, the nook.
Yeah.
The cool thing about this, though, I will say, is that they're using, instead of using Punish as like a ramp all the way up to the little house, they're using Blazing Shot's placement to kind of bump Jade into the air a little bit more. So it's almost like he's using 2 different ramps.
Yeah.
It's too time consuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too...
Especially for the difficulty of the trick, it's just simply not worth it.
Finally gets there. About 30 seconds left.
Yeah, this might be the last attempt, to be honest.
I think even if they can make it, I don't think they will win.
Anything's possible.
Is this going to be the one?
Oh.
Is he up? No, he fell down.
Yeah.
That is so unlucky.
Yeah, and that's time. Wow.
Definitely a valiant effort.
Yeah.
But I don't think they played their cards right, which is disappointing. When you consider the performance that they had throughout
it's
the
such
tournament.
a shame because they had so much potential.
Yeah, they absolutely had a great attempt and a great idea, but who knows? They still had a very creative trick, so it's possible that it's possible that they come in with a higher score than TFP.
Yep.
And the results are in.
Ooh.
So, drum roll, please. In second place, with a score of 115 points, is Team Bagged Milk.
Ooh.
Which means that in first place, the Flying Parkourists 3 win this year's Masters of Parkour.
Well done, guys.
Wow. Congratulations.
Well done.
The
Fantastic work from
129
everyone.
points.
It's as I thought. It's just the multiplier that screwed them over.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, they didn't lose by much. There's only, 14 points in it in the end?
Yeah.
So.
But 1 point, even 1 point is enough, you know?
Exactly.
As we can see, the scores, the actual votes of the judges, Bagged Milk, but it's the multiplier that essentially cost. It was the decision to do the medium difficulty that cost them the tournament.
Yeah. So,
as I said earlier, I think it was a mistake for them to ignore what TFP had done. They had the intel. They should have taken advantage of it.
Exactly, especially being the second team as well. They had the advantage.
So a huge congratulations to all 6 participants in the grand final, and of course every single parkour team that submitted a video for MOP 2019. A huge thank you to everyone. Without your participation, we couldn't have done any of this, and we hope you had a blast. A huge congratulations to the Flying Parkourists 3, who come in first place and earn 100,000 crystals, 200 units of every supply, 50 containers, and, of course, a headset, the Canyon Star Raider headset, and the Genius Scorpion K6 gaming keyboard. So huge congratulations to that team. And, of course, to the second place team, who still gets rewarded with 60,000 crystals, 120 units of each supply, 30 containers, and the gaming keyboard, Genius Scorpion K6. A huge thank you to all the participants.
Yeah, well done.
So with that being said, we would also like to thank all of the viewers of this live stream, and we will do that by now picking the final winners for the three tankers, the 3 lucky tankers who win 50,000 crystals and an animated flow paint. So of all of the people that submitted correct answers in the quizzes, you are entered into this giveaway. Okay.
Every time you've answered correctly, let's clarify this. Every time you've answered every question you've answered correctly gives you an additional ticket. So if you answered one question correctly and the other two incorrectly, you're essentially getting 1 ticket. If you answered all 3 questions correctly, you're basically getting 3 tickets, 3 times as much chance of winning.
You know, I almost wish I just got to participate in this giveaway instead of having to commentate.
Yeah.
Feels like I'm missing out, huh?
I mean, you'd love that juicy flow paint.
Yeah, you never learn. You did the same, you made the same mistake with Sky, right?
Yeah. You know, Cedric, you never reward me for anything I do, you know? It hurts, man.
Reward you by teasing you live on air.
Oh yeah, thanks. That's what I need. Boost to my ego.
Okay, so the winners for the giveaway, we've got 3 names. The first one is A Star, so congratulations to you. The second one is Hippie, and the third winner is Primogenits. So congratulations for winning the 50,000 crystals and the flow paint.
Wow, those
Dang,
lucky
guys.
tankers.
So lucky.
Are you sure my name wasn't on there, James?
Let me double check. I'll check for you, Ben, just in case. Oh, maybe. Nah, sorry, no.
Oh, you had to get my hopes up one last time.
Oh, man. I'm so sorry.
All right, well, thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you to all of the judges, all of the event staff that helped make this possible. Huge thank you especially to Felix and to Fabi and to Torben. And like a smaller thank you to Nick. We don't really care about him. And of course, thank you to James and to Cedric for commentating with me. I had a blast. And thanks, of course, to all the participants and all the viewers. We could not have done this without you. So thank you for sticking around, and we hope to see you next time. Am I missing anything?
Oh, yeah. Thank you to my bowels for allowing me to stay for the duration of the live stream.
Oh man, me too, to be honest.
It's like, today has not been a good day for me.
Oh man.
Really not a good day.
Get well soon, Cedric.
Yeah.
Rip Cedric.
Limau. Wait, thanks again, everyone. Absolutely everyone. I hope you had a great time, and I look forward to seeing more parkour action, more parkour tournaments coming, more parkour events. Stay tuned for the birthday celebrations because we have a ton of really cool stuff prepared for you. Okay? Good night, everyone.
Bye.